Hey there everybody. Today is a very exciting video because I have actually just hit 600 subscribers about a week ago. This is a ginormous update to my Five Nights at Freddy's role-playing game, and I'm calling it the Ruin update because we have tons of new stuff for Security Breach and the Ruin DLC coming up right now, but we also have a nice big long thing of different stuff from the book, some FNAF AR stuff, some new locations, and even some human characters for us to go ahead and look at. So we are going to go ahead and start with the smallest category, that being the prequels. So let's jump right into it. So whenever I say prequel, I mean times before we actually get the game. So here we can see we have Fredbear pre-bite, and then Fredbear after the bite. He's just got blood all over his mouth and such. This is part of a game system that I'm working on, and you can see there's a little bit of gameplay mechanics on the side here. I'm gonna probably go off and paint a little bit more to see if I can get the blood to not show through on the normal side. But here is Fredbear, and here is Spring Bonnie. I'm just going to refer to him as the murder suit because I already have a plain Spring Bonnie. So this is William's murder suit. And yeah, so we just got the plain old token. But not only that, we also have Mr. Afton himself to go along with it. This is my version of William Afton. You can see that he's holding his blade there. He has the Insanity perk, and he has no backside. It is just William Afton. We also get Michael Afton here. We can see that he has some different hallucination kind of lines going on there, as well as the Blood Rush ability that gives him +3 on his lowest dice rolls. You can see that I kind of based him off Josh Hutchinson, but not quite. There's a little bit something wrong there. I kind of made him to look a little bit more like William. All right, so now we are going to move on to FNAF 1. So this is literally only one piece. It is just the FNAF 1 location token, and that's literally it. So you'd select where you're going to play. So this would be sitting on top of the map, just kind of showing the restaurant off here. And as you can see, this is in full color. I just went off and painted this on there. And you can see you just flip it over and it just says FNAF 1. And that's kind of just it. Now on to the second location, FNAF 2. So for FNAF 2, we can just see that it's kind of the same thing, just a storefront with some blood on the ground, considering that this happened before FNAF 1 and bodies actually were discovered here. So I just kind of wanted to signify that this is a very gruesome location. And then you just get the glorious little sun coming in there with the toy animatronic sign. So yeah, that's FNAF 2. Now on to FNAF 3, Fazbear's Fright, the horror attraction. This one honestly looks like just a cardboard box on fire. But that's supposed to be like the front door and the ventilation, and it's all going up in smoke just to kind of give FNAF 3 its own kind of feel. Because in my headcanon, FNAF 3 takes place in an old Fredbear's location. So yeah, it's just kind of it's going up in flames there. Pretty neat. I'm probably going to add a little bit more to it. It feels quite plain, and I don't really know if other people would be able to know what exactly it is. So now let's move on to some later games like FNAF AR. So for FNAF AR, I just made 2 skins. Here we have Cursed Springtrap. He has the water delusion handicap. You can see there. I mean, he's a Springlock suit, so he has a handicap to water of 2. Yeah, just kind of self-explanatory, just Cursed Springtrap. And we have Serpent Mangle just kind of rocking it there. We can see that she gets an extra buddy there. And now let's move on to the books. So first things first, we have, from the Silver Eyes, we have Charlie Emily. As we can see here, she also has the blood flow ability, so she gets a +1 on any low rolls whenever she gets down to about half health. She was kind of taken out of the comic design, but then I also kind of just, I don't know, this is just how I always imagined her to be, just kind of standard here. And yeah, she's wearing her dad's jacket and all that good stuff. But not just Charlie. Since I made her, I also had to make John here. And as we can see, he kind of just looks like, he's like, what? And he also has the blood flow ability, that being +1. Or actually, no, that's +2. So I considered whenever he tore the head off of Twisted Foxy, I was like, yeah, we need to see some of that in this game. So I gave him +2 just for his brute strength. But not only do we have those 2, we also have the police chief Clay Burke here. We can see he's got the little star that gives him a tactical advantage. He has the blood flow ability with a +6. so he can really get some of the action on up in here. And I'm also going to arm him with his shotgun and sidearm for the game, so he will be able to, blast through some animatronics if he needs to. And that's all that we have from the Silver Eyes, unless you count William Afton. But now we are going to move on to the Fazbear Frights stories. So the one and only character I've made from the Fazbear Frights stories so far is actually the Stitch Wraith, as we can see here. I took this design from the character encyclopedia. Honestly, I hate it. I think it looks awful. But that's just the canonical design for now. We can see that they have the severe physical damage handicap, so they get a -2 on their highest roll. And yeah, I'm going to think of something to make them a little bit stronger, but they will be probably pretty OP unless you compare them to someone like Golden Freddy. But I'm going to make them as balanced as possible. Now let's move on to Security Breach. So for Security Breach, I went ahead and made the location. As we can see here, it's just kind of got the front of the building with a massive star design. That does say Freddy's back there. I couldn't fit the entire Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, so I just put Freddy's just because I thought it would look cool. And we have the little itsy bitsy designs of Freddy and the gang here, if it'll focus. I tried to put as much detail as possible, and some of them look better than others. Roxanne really faded out. She did have a big long green streak in her hair, but you can't really see it anymore. Yeah, I really tried hard on this one. And I haven't labeled it as Security Breach back there yet, but I will. Now let's move on to the Security Breach characters. First off, we got the little terrorist himself. We have Gregory, again with the blood flow ability. He's just got a +1, so that way you can have Glamrock Freddy come to his aid. And yeah, that's kind of just it. He's just Gregory. Then we have everybody's favorite Karen. We have Vanessa. No, she does not have the weird Austrian man stash. But she does have the Insanity perk with a +2 if she gets a kill streak going. So, yeah. And she can also turn into Vanessa, or Vanny, I should say, not Vanessa. She doesn't have anything on the back yet, but she will eventually. Next, we have the Blob. I've added as much detail as I possibly could. We can see Chica's vibing over here. And he also can have up to 3 henchmen working for him, and I will show you them now. You can have the Staff Bot. It can also have a +3. Or you can have the Infected Staff Bot. And they all just... Looks like I was in the middle of recording, and my phone ran out of storage. So anyway, the Blob can also have an Infected Staff Bot if it wants. And these can all call different animatronics to different places with the little check or the plus signs there. So the Blob can call 3 at once, or each of them can call him there if they need to. He has a handicap of -7 because he is severely physically damaged. And so yeah, that has been all of our Security Breach caps, but now we have the Ruin DLC caps to look at. So the first one that I went off and made was actually Ruined Monty, and he looks absolutely terrifying. He can also call an animatronic to his aid if he needs to. He has a physical handicap of -2, considering he lost his legs and now he's lost most of his cosmetics. Next one I made was Ruined Chica, and she looks so brain dead. It is wild. She can also call an animatronic to her location. She has a handicap of -1, considering she can still walk around and has most of her limbs. Other physically damaged animatronics, like Mangle and such, are also going to be getting a handicap, but they will also have an anomaly amalgamation kind of power. I have to go off and fix that. But here we have Roxanne. She's one of the only ones to actually have 2 different perks. So here she has the physical handicap of -1 because she has most of her limbs and such. And she also has sound sensitivity. She gets a +2 on sound-related rolls. So if she can hear something like in a different room or, hear someone breathing, then she can go off and, have a better chance of actually catching them. She looks a little freaky. Next, we have the Ruin Rabbit, whether it be Bonnie or Spring Bonnie or whatever, we will find out later. He has a -1 handicap because apparently he has most of his limbs. He's just missing his face. I'm pretty Pretty sure this guy will probably turn out to be like Glamrock Bonnie. He's probably like one of the most hyped characters for Ruin. And then we have the daycare attendant, and oh boy, does he look kind of freaky looking. He has a physical handicap of -2 because he's also going to have some other physical damage and problems. He's also going to have the amalgamation mentality, so that'll be one of his perks. And yeah, he can go off and cause other things to glitch out, and he can cause hallucinations, so that's going to be pretty neat. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much for 600 subscribers. That means a lot to me. There's a lot of FNAF projects coming on in the channel. Expect some FNAF Plus reviews, as well as the Security Breach review for the Switch over the next couple of days. Maybe a Security Breach playthrough and theory video might be coming up. I might be going live here in a little bit to review some Skylanders. Anyway, lots of projects to come. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out and bye-bye!